Hi everyone, this is Maggie from My Favorite Things. So this is the first time that I'm actually showing my face on my channel, and there are several people on YouTube who sort of encouraged me to take the jump. And you know who you are, and thank you so much for encouraging me. But anyway, so today's topic, it's sort of, I don't know if this is a right topic to show my face on, but Cat L did I'm looking over here because I'm looking at my computer screen. Cat L did a video on It's Not Worth It, Save My Money. I actually love that idea. And Louis Vuitton Coffee Lover also did something similar to it, ugly handbags and trends that I wish would die. So here it is. Okay, so if there's anything that I mention here and you have it, good for you. You do you, don't let what I say influence how you feel about a particular piece or a particular thing. I'm sure I have bought things that I know I have bought things that people have said, oh my gosh, what were you thinking, Maggie? It's a waste of money. You're crazy. So it's okay, they're entitled to their opinion, and it is what it is. So here are some of the things that I think I wish would die. I wish these fashion trends, and I wish some of these things I just don't like it. So that being said, like I said, every fashion is very subjective, and if you love it, good for you, and you should rock it. So here it is. Here's my list though. And if you agree, great. I'd love to hear from you. If you don't agree, I don't want to hear it. Just, if you don't agree, you don't agree. If you want to say anything to the fact that you don't agree and you love these, say it in a nice way, please, because I do have a very sensitive skin. Is that the term? You know what I'm talking about. So here it is. I wrote a list. Okay, the first thing is, I don't know where to look when I'm doing this. So anyway, the first thing is cold shoulder shirts. That makes no sense. I don't understand cold shoulder shirts. One, my shoulders are like the first place that I get super cold. So I get it. I get that style. I get that fashion for summertime. For like light little shirts, t-shirts, or, sleeveless, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But it makes no sense to me when you have cold shoulder sweaters, thick sweaters, where, the whole point of a sweater is to keep you warm. But yet you cut out the most sensitive part. Like I am so sensitive on my shoulder as far as the temperature is concerned. That's the part that you cut out? I don't get it. So that's one. Second one are these new trends with, like funky socks that you wear with either a sandal or high heels, but you can see the socks. So to me, it looks sort of weird because maybe I'm not used to it. I mean, practically speaking, I get it. I'm all for it. I mean, I wish, like, you know how people usually wear loafers and they go barefoot with loafers? I don't like the feel of that. I don't like sweat in my shoes and whatever. So I like the idea of having socks there, but I don't think it looks so, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of some of these older ladies. Now I'm old, I'm 55, but I'm talking about ladies in the 80s and 90s. I used to see these older Asian ladies that would wear these puffy pants with elastic waistband, and it's got elastic. If you're Asian and living in Asian countries, you might have seen some of these ladies, and they're usually like somebody's grandmother, and my grandmother used to wear things like this too. And then she would wear like white socks over her, like a ballet slipper kind of shoes. So white socks, black shoes with pants that cinch at the ankles where you can see the socks. it reminds me of that style. You know what I mean? I don't know why. So the new trend of showing the socks reminds me of those ladies. So on one hand, I think practically it makes sense. I like the idea of wearing socks with your shoes. But on the other hand, it reminds me of older ladies who were not very fashion forward. So that's the other one. Let me look to see what else there is. Oh, okay. The other thing that I would not spend my money on for me is these logo t-shirts that are like, how much was Gucci t-shirt? It's like $590 for a freaking t-shirt. It's a t-shirt with some logo on it, like you're advertising for them, yet you're paying them money to advertise their product. And it's just a t-shirt, so I don't understand. And plus, I mean, maybe it's because in the 80s, this was very popular. If you were, I mean, I lived through the 80s, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, so, and 90s. And so, like, a lot of these trends are like, you know, repeat of things that we've seen. But it was, I remember Guess was really popular. Calvin Klein was very popular. Remember that? You know, you would have these Calvin Klein logos on top, on t-shirts or sweatshirts or Guess. I don't know if Guess was with a question mark or with an exclamation mark. I don't remember. But, so it sort of reminds me of that, and there was a lot of copies. And I think there still are a lot of copies of these kind of t-shirts, so you never know. I mean, I think Kat L mentioned it. Like, she sees it a lot in the country, in her country, where there are a lot of, so many fakes that even if you're wearing the real one, you don't even know. So it's sort of, the fakes have sort of cheapened the real value of some of this. So that's one, but I mean, I don't mind wearing Gucci. I would love to wear a Gucci t-shirt, right? But I can't pay $590 for a t-shirt. It's a t-shirt, and it's gonna wear out. I mean, like this shirt that I got from Target. It's, you know, after so many washes, it's gonna get little holes. So that's the other one. Let me think. Oh, those plastic shoes. Come on, plastic shoes. Christian Louboutin had a pair of high heels. It's got leather, like I think it was like patent leather with plastic PVC. When you can see your toes so much, and I think it'll just sweat. I think you'll see the sweat. I can see your feet swimming around in a sweat inside these shoes. I mean, that's what I'm imagining. I mean, I can't. Plus the fact they're like $725 or $750 for plastic, for PVC. So, that reminds me, Chanel now has these PVC purses that are like several thousand. Let me see, did I write down how much? It's like $3,000 for a PVC little flap. You can see everything in it. You know what I mean? I mean, even if you kept things in pouches, you can still, I mean, you can see what, and if you don't keep things in a pouch, then you'll see your little pen, you'll see your little feminine products, you'll see your little lipsticks. Anyway, so PVC bags. Oh, I remember when, like, Bomb Scare, when was this? Was it like year 2000-ish? I remember when my kids, at their school, like, people wanted to make sure that no kid was bringing anything dangerous, so people, you know, the schools were for a while telling the students to either, like, some schools would inspect your backpack, and some schools would say, you know, we want to see what's in it, carry it in clear bags or things like that. So I don't know if this is a leftover of that or reminiscence of that or what, but I'm not for it. No. It's too expensive for what it is, I think. It's not even leather. It's not even treated canvas. It's PVC. For $3,000? I don't think so. So, okay, so that's one. Let me look at some more. Okay, Gucci has these fur slippers, like fur-lined slippers. Like, they look like you're stepping on dead animal. Or they look like they're house slippers. I don't know if you ever watched, what is it? You ever watched, like, oh gosh, he died. Doris Day and Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson, Doris Day kind of movie where, you know, or that era, 1950s kind of movie where the men are wearing their dinner jackets at home, or they're like, you know, their fancy robes at home and walk around with those kind of shoes. Gucci shoes, the what do they call it? The slippers, the mules sort of remind me of that. And especially when I have mules and I love mules. They're so comfortable. But some of that style reminds me of the men's style in that era. You know what I mean? And then when you add the fur to it, ugh. And not only that, can you imagine if you're walking out in middle of New York City or middle of, you know, Hong Kong or whatever, and you're walking around with these shoes with fur and stuff that you would gather, and the dirt and pollution and God knows what you're stepping on. So, no, I don't think so. Okay, so leather, the fur-lined mules, no. Okay. Other ones, like, okay, the handbags that I wish would, it makes no sense to me, are these tiny, tiny little handbags. The nano bags are the bags that you can't even fit in your large size phone. As I grow older, I can't see very well. So my phones are these gigantic phones, gigantic. And then I have to like enlarge it to see it even more. So I don't see myself going back to a regular size phone. I have the whatever plus, whether it's I think it's a 6S Plus right now. But whatever my next phone will be, it'll be a plus. It'll be a plus size. There's no, you know. But some of these bags, you can't fit your phone in. I mean, I'd like to be able to fit in my phone, even a small little wallet and sunglass case. But when you got a like petite main, I think they've increased the size just a little bit. But the first version that came out, I don't know that it could have fit a big size phone. Makes no sense. Plus the fact they're so expensive. So not only can you not put in what you normally carry, or even a, you know, stripped down version of what you normally carry, you can't even carry your phone with it. It's like you have to put it in your pocket. You have to hang it on your shirt, your sunglasses. So no. It makes no sense. There's a new bag that I saw on Louis Vuitton website. It's called Square Bag. It's like 6.3 inches. That's really tiny. It's a square thing. That's 6.3 inches. You measure your phone, see how big that is and whether you think it'll fit. Or that plus, you know, a key, you know, your license and keys. I don't know. But it just, what are these, I mean, I don't understand. Who is running this thing? Who is deciding on these fashion trends? Do they not know what women need? It's like, it's sort of, you know what it reminds me of? It sort of reminds me of, remember when we used to think this was so, I mean, this is not to this level, but the women in the turn of the century where they would try to make their waist so tiny because that was a fashion, and they would like break the last two ribs so that, and then they use a corset and tighten them up, kind of like, you know, in Gone with the Wind when Scarlett O'Hara had, I forget, her maid like tighten her corset, and no matter how uncomfortable, and women used to pass out. Women used to, you know, I'm really getting off topic, but women used to pass out, being, you know, chained to this sort of fashion that was vogue back then. We're not to a point where we're going to pass out of carrying some of these handbags, but it sort of reminds me of that when we get in our minds that some of these things are wonderful and I have to have it, and yet it is not practical. It's not practical to what we what we, our normal day of, I mean, in today's day and age where, women's rights, and I'm all for women becoming the president of the United States and all that stuff, yet we are, this is the fashion. It's tying us. It's tying us to a certain, I don't know, discomfort. It's forcing us to be uncomfortable. I don't see men doing that. Men would go, it makes no sense. I'm not buying that. Just a thought, okay? What else? Let's see, Gucci. Oh, okay. This has nothing to do with practicality, but just, whether I liked it or not. The LV Louis Vuitton Masters collection, when I first saw it, I laughed. But I have to tell you, with social media and in bombardment of seeing it over and over again, I'm thinking, not bad, which if I think logically, I should just go back to my initial reaction and say, that's how I really feel, and sort of ignore how I feel about it now. It's just like, some of those pictures it's kind of nice looking. But the first time I saw it, you know what I thought? Swap meet. I don't know if you know what swap meet is in your country, whether you have something like that. I remember going to, it's like this big place, like usually outside, and people sell their wares. It's like little vendors selling their purses and things that they make, and it's a fun place to visit. And I used to go there when I was young, try to find bargains, bargain hunting. That's what reminds me of, because that kind of stuff is like, or like you would see it in like museum gift shop. Like if you go to a, any kind of museum with beautiful arts or whatever, as you leave the museum, there's a gift shop, and they would have, replica of this, or a purse with Van Gogh's face or whatever. Kind of reminds me of that. But thousands of dollars. Makes no sense. Like the Neverfull, LV Masters Neverfull MM, I saw it on the website that it was $3,200. $3,200. The regular Neverfull is like, I don't know, it's like $1,200 or $1,300 or $1,400. I didn't really check, but it's almost, I can't do the math, like 3 times the cost, a little less than 3 times the cost. So I don't know. It's funny because when I was in, I don't know if it was it was in Rome, I think, and I saw a Louis Vuitton store, and it was decorated. You know how they have a theme, like they decorated so many of their windows with these Masters collection handbags, and I looked at it, and there was an instant where I said, not bad. I like that Monet, but I have to keep telling myself to go back to how I felt the first time I looked at it. First time I looked at it, I laughed, and I said, you gotta be kidding me. Anyway, all right, so not gonna belabor the point though. Let me see, is that it? Oh, finally, okay. The pants that are out there that are like big legs. So for a while, it was like the skinny jeans, and I didn't like that either because so uncomfortable. Unless it's got a lot of stretch. Okay, but the thing that they have now that I like is it's the wide leg pants. I love that. It's so comfortable, and if it's got an elastic waistband, even better. But what they have now is they have the super wide leg, okay? But it cuts off really short. Like it cuts off above your ankles, and it cuts off like at the fattest part of your leg. Now, if you're 5'9" and you're thin as a rail and you're like a model, or even if you're 5 feet and you're thin as a rail, okay, you can wear anything and you can almost be beautiful. Any kind of pants and you're like, oh, cute. But for rest of us who are like normal size or a little, above normal, it cuts you off at the most, where the pant leg ends, it cuts you off at like it makes, even if you had a regular length legs, it'll make your legs look shorter, having it cut off there. And if you're short like me with shorter legs, then forget it. You look like a little dumpy person. Or I look like a little dumpy person. And that said, I have one. I have one. Look how wide these pants are. They hit above my ankle. They make my legs, according to my husband, look like they're like this short. I mean, they look like tiny little stilts. Not stilts. Stilts are actually skinny. No. I look fat. I mean, I could be in my lowest weight, which doesn't happen very often, but I could be in my lowest weight and wear this, and I still look. I look chunky. I look plump. I look whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But why did I get it? So not only does it hit sort of really short at the widest part, the widest part of my calf, but it also has elastic waistband that's gathered. Gathered, you know what that means? That means even if I had flat stomach, which I don't, it will make my stomach look like I'm pregnant. But you know why I got it? It's really comfortable. Look at this. It's so comfortable. Look at that. And it was $8. It's Vince Camuto. I think it's Vince Camuto. No, is it? Yes, it's Vince Camuto. It's $8. It was like in the clearance sale at Marshall's, and I saw it, and I knew I looked short and dumpy in them. I did. I swear I knew it. But I couldn't help it. The $8, the comfort. The comfort. Okay. Well, I hope you found this entertaining, and let me know what you think. Okay. Talk to you later. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe. Okay, bye.